Okay, really quick, I want to clear up some possible miscommunication on our studio statistics, conflict, etc. Now, just because we came to this conclusion that you're more likely to die in interstate conflict like the Ukraine, Russia, Bolivia, Peru, and Chile, to bring up another interstate conflict, etc., that does not mean there's necessarily more deaths out there of this interstate conflict. In fact, it's the opposite. This is TAPLI, Conflict National Security. That's the name of the data set, plus death estimates up here, comma, conflict national security. Then you have the dollar sign. That will bring up, just so you know, if you bring a dollar sign up, look at this is the data set. You bring up the dollar sign. This is to keep the dollar afloat. Even though the statistical environment was actually created in New Zealand, you get the different variables, conflict type, region, etc. So all you have to do is hit the dollar sign and you get that. That's what I did here. You get death estimate, comma, conflict, national security, conflict type. So what we're looking at is the death estimate for each conflict type. Just the raw numbers. This is what we call descriptive statistics. Interstate is actually very low. 21,000, 20, actually just say, oh no, well, those are numbers too big for me. I'm not smart enough. But as you can see, 217,000 is a lot less than these numbers. So you basically ask yourself, well, wait. And then when I Gigi plotted it over here, you see, oh, wow, look at this. Interstate is a lot less than these. Why is it statistically significant for more deaths? Well, it's what the algorithm does in statistics. It depends on how many conflicts there are. So when you look at the interstate, that's why we were having trouble seeing it here. There aren't that many interstate conflicts, particularly anymore, but even before. So there's only 44, where internationalized, you're getting 416. And then in internal, you've got, without a outside power, you've got 1,388. Internal is the lowest, even though it has more conflict and it seems to have, a lot of deaths, but look at how many there are. So that's the reason why interstate is statistically significant. It doesn't mean a statistic, and this means for every data set, that there's necessarily more of that dependent variable. It depends on how many cases you have relative to the result. So I wanted to clear that up, and you see it here in this conflict death quick ggplot, actually Plotly, because it's interactive, which we can learn, is that, the interstate is actually much less as far as just regular raw data goes. But there is a significantly low amount of conflicts of interstate. That's why in the Russian and Ukraine conflict, they're saying what Russia's doing is absolutely horrible because this is, old time, old school, 18th century, 19th century type of warfare, just going in and stealing. But the question becomes, and I end here, are we going to invade Greenland and just take it? Are we going to do that? Are we going to take Canada? Those are other things. Maybe we will have another interstate conflict soon that will push up these numbers. But regardless, interstate conflict is by far the most deadly. It's just that there's a lot less types of those conflicts. Thank you very much for coming out.